Well, I can finally talk again. I still have a little bit of a cough and my throat is dry. I don't know what the hell happened. My daughter got me sick and my voice still even sounds a little different. But I need to finally get back to recording videos. I have a lot to catch up on. I've got almost four book reviews to catch up on, a couple of book tags, and some other videos that I want to get out. So lots of content coming soon now that I'm kind of able to talk again. But let's start off with my June TBR. So June is going to be a lot of fun. So you will see here, I've got Crossroads of Twilight. That's not that fun now, is it? So even the diehard Wheel of Time fans tell me up and down that this book is butt. Not a lot happens. It's long. There's barely any movement to any of the characters, and nothing really happens. So yay! And to hear that Crossroads of Twilight is just boring the entire way through, and not a lot happens, and it could basically just be removed from the series. So that's gonna be fun. But then I will finally get to the last three books that are three books. The final four books that are all incredible from what I hear. So definitely looking forward to that. I mostly listen to this log on audio, so I kind of just listen to it and get through it since I don't want to take the time to read, 10 days of a boring book. So I listen to it on my trip, to and from, take my kids to my parents' house, and just throughout the day if I'm playing games or have some downtime, I listen to it. Next up, though, I'm really excited about this one. This is actually going to be a buddy read with Leanna's Library, and we are both huge Red Rising fans, absolutely love it. So we're definitely fans of space opera and that sci-fi fantasy blend. And of course, we are going to be stepping into Christopher Rocchio's Empire of Silence. Now, this is sold to you, even by Rocchio himself, as what if Anakin becoming Vader was the right thing to do. So we'll see what that entails. I believe the way that this is told is you kind of already know that he's sort of like become the Dark Lord almost and won, and then is going to retell kind of the entire journey there. So that's really interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I hear nothing but good things about Rocchio himself, whether it be from Durfee or members of the Discord. People really just speak highly of this guy, and his books sound fantastic. I've heard plenty of people, I think Mike told me a while back that it was like a blend of like Rothfuss and Pierce Brown. I might be misremembering exactly what it was, but that's what I hear is it's kind of like the prose of Kingkiller Chronicles, but in a space opera with a good fantasy blend. So sort of Red Rising with better prose almost. It's like I don't know, it sounds really, really interesting. Definitely looking forward to it. Excited to talk to Leanna about it, and hopefully we both enjoy it because I really want to get the rest of the series in hardcovers because they're gorgeous, and I'm down for another sci-fi fantasy blend. I love that. Next up, and I picked this up because I had book hauled this a while back and then never got around to reading it, but this is actually the Howler pick for June. So this won the vote. It's Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. And I think Recursion is the second book. I don't know if it's a direct sequel or if they're just kind of, I don't know if they're standalones or not, but it's sort of a sci-fi suspense thriller novel. Yep. Love story mashup. Sorry. Okay. Says right there. This just sounds really interesting though, because I like me a good, short, concise story. Sci-fi thriller is just a really fun genre because you can do a lot with it. And you play with, the similar and tried and true thriller tropes. But sci-fi is so broad that you can do pretty much anything with it. And this sounds pretty interesting because when you read the back of the book, it just says, "Are you happy with your life?" Those are the last words Jason Destin hears before the kidnapper knocks him unconscious. Before he awakens to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits. So that already sounds like a terrifying nightmare to wake up in. Before a man he's never met smiles down and says, "Welcome back, my friend." So you're already like, what the fuck? In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife, his son was never born, and Jason is not an ordinary college professor, but a celebrated genius who has achieved something remarkable, something impossible. Is it this life or the other that's the dream? And even if the home he remembers is real, how will Jason make it back to the family he loves? So that just sounds really intriguing. Who the hell knows? I mean, that's a terrifying premise, right? You get knocked unconscious, you wake up, and your life doesn't exist. and you're just a totally different person. So who the hell knows what's going on here? That's super interesting. I don't know if that's going to be like he wakes up and they had like transplanted somebody else's memories into his brain, or what this is about, but it sounds really intriguing and I'm looking forward to it. I hear great things about it. Next up, this is probably the final, because some of these are a little bit meatier. This is, like I said, I typically go for about 4 books a month now. So I will be finishing up with the chonker of Assassin's Quest. Now I am about a quarter of the way through Royal Assassin. I have not gotten as much done as I wanted to. I've been sick. I'm sick and busy, so not a lot of reading has been occurring for me lately, but I'm really liking Royal Assassin. Just honestly, the writing is such a step up from Assassin's Apprentice to Royal Assassin. It's kind of impressive. Robin Hobb just has a way with words. Her writing is gorgeous. It's beautiful. She really pulls at your heartstrings. Fitz, of course, is already going through so much more than even in book 1, and he's still dealing with repercussions from things that happened in book 1. So he's still having a tough way about it. And on the first couple chapters, man, that shit got dark. There was all kinds of horrible crap happening. I think it was like the second chapter. I was talking to people on Discord, like, what is happening here? It's just like, hey, you want a grimdark novel? Here you go. Just everything was just terrible. But it's written so well. Fitz is a tragic and interesting character. I really like the expansion of his relationship with Verity and Regal and King Shrewd and the new Queen in Waiting, and just all the characters are getting fleshed out, and the story and everything is just expanding in scope. The Fool is becoming more prevalent, and it's really interesting. It's totally unlike other fantasy that I'm used to reading, and it kind of makes me want to get more of that sort of like beautiful writing under my belt. So I definitely want to look into, King Killer Chronicles and some other things that just are highly regarded as just like wonderfully written novels. So I'm really looking forward to finishing Royal Assassin. It's probably going to be up there as one of the top books that I read this year. I know some others have read it recently and it just immediately jumped up there for them. So really looking forward to finishing that and getting to Assassin's Quest, which I hear is kind of mixed reception, but I'm really looking forward to it. Now, the last one I have on here is pretty much if and when I have time at the end of a month, I'm probably just going to fill it with Dresden Files. I think I have almost all of them now. I'm missing one book. I think I'm missing Ghost Story. Ghost Story is the only book that I'm missing right now, so I need to order that, and then I will have the entire collection. So White Knight, I might get to that at the end of May. If not, it'll be the end of June. I'm basically just going to fill in Dresden when and where I can, and as soon as I'm finished with some other, like Wheel of Time and some of these other series, I'm going to burn through the rest of Dresden. So at some point, there's going to be a binge. It might be around Skin Game to Battleground, who knows. But I love the Dresden Files. It's fantastic, and I'm definitely looking forward to White Knight and everything else because I hear it's fantastic. So that's what I'm reading in June, but I would love to hear what you all are reading in June. I'm apparently losing my voice as I'm recording this. This is great. This is just great. But I would love to hear your thoughts on anything that I'm reading or what you're reading and what you're looking forward to the most coming up here in the month of June. So like and subscribe. As always, do hit up Patreon if you want to support the channel financially. Always optional, but always greatly appreciated. Definitely jump in Discord though, or leave me a comment down below, guys. Let me know your thoughts on anything that I'm talking about here, anything you want to see me talk about, whatever it may be, just let me know. And until next time, keep reading.